Your manager, your friends, your peers, your team members have started to talk about Amazon CodeCatalyst, and you want to quickly get a start on what it actually is and how it helps you in your professional career in tech. Then this video will give you a brief introduction into what CodeCatalyst is and how you can leverage it to be more successful in your job. CodeCatalyst is Amazon's answer to something like GitHub, Gitlab, Harness, or the Bitbucket, the Atlassian suite, or also Azure DevOps. It's an integrated DevTools service that gives you an opinionated solution on how you should be building software and developing software on AWS. The way that Amazon has been presenting that, it covers all parts of the product lifecycle. You can plan your projects, you can develop your projects, you can actually build them and also deploy them. You can run and execute automated tests with the corresponding quality reports. And you can then also make sure that your software gets deployed to various environments on your AWS environment. If you look at this from a ideal world perspective, from a CI/CD pipeline, you as a developer start on the left-hand side. You will now be working on different on your IDE, which can be also a cloud IDE. You will push that to a source code repository, then you will execute some automated tests, and then the software will at the end land in the production environment. This integrated view is also what is covered by all of the pieces in Amazon CodeCatalyst today. So if you look at this picture, previously we had CodePipeline up here and other code services in AWS. Now CodeCatalyst tries to cover all of the green axes that you see on this diagram. In the next few minutes, I'm going to cover a little bit more about the different functionalities, the possibilities that CodeCatalyst gives you. I'm going to give you a brief intro and show you how you can be successful in conversations with your peers. CodeCatalyst, which is a web service that you can reach by accessing codecatalyst.aws without being in the AWS console, was announced at reInvent 2022. It went GA in April 2023, and since then I've been running a lot of projects on CodeCatalyst myself. If you look at after logging into the system, you get an overview of a so-called space. This so-called space is what your organization has as a landing point, an entry point for the project for the tool. You can log in by using a builder ID, or you can also now integrate with the AWS Identity Center. When going into the project view, after starting your projects over there, you will see that it covers all parts of the product lifecycle, starting from the issues management, which you can think of being something like a Kanban board, where you can track all of your issues, where you can track what you're trying to implement and the tasks that you get from your product management, until the coding piece, where you have your source code repositories that are being stored. Here the possibility is that you have multiple source code repositories per project, which is kind of interesting because that's how sometimes enterprises develop their workforce as well. You also see that it covers the pull request mapping, where you can actually discuss with your peers before your code changes are merged into the main branch. Very interesting and very appealing is the idea of having integrated dev environments, where you can actually start up in the cloud IDE or also connect to your existing IDE, as you can see over here, and then work directly on the code and on the Bitbucket, on the Git repository that you have in your source code here. So this is pretty interesting because it really gives you quick access, and you can also pre-configure these development environments for your team members and for your teammates. So you can give them a start which is a little bit faster than if they need to set up their local IDEs every time. You can then see that there's a possibility to integrate CI/CD workflows as well. This is pretty powerful because it is compatible with the GitHub actions and with most of the GitHub actions. So you have the possibility to integrate existing GitHub actions into this workflow engine as well. And you can use this workflow pieces then to actually build and test all of your applications. Very interesting is the visual representation of the workflow. This is a very simple one, but you can see that there is an UI tool if you want to edit this, and you can then switch between visuals and YAMLs, so you can have a YAML definition of this. But this is really comparable to what you know from GitHub already, so the adoption should be very minimal as well. In the CI/CD part of the CodeCatalyst itself, you also have the possibilities to manage multiple environments. So think of a pre-production environment, a development environment, and a production environment. You can then manage the compute instances if you're on a higher tier, which is where you then actually can decide how big, how fast your actual runners are going to be. And in the enterprise tier, you can also get these runners to execute within your own VPC to allow you to connect to your different instances as well. You're able to manage your secrets in here that you require for your deployments. But if you're setting this environments up over here, you have a direct integration to the corresponding AWS accounts, where we then also see what deployment has been executed and is being executed. That means that you can directly deploy the deployment targets over here, set them up, and this gives you the full control of where these workflows are actually going to be deploying out their stuff. If you're using all of these functionalities, you will also get a change tracking. This means that you will see which infrastructure changes have been adjusted by the latest deployments. And this is pretty interesting. I think this is one of the things that CodeCatalyst does better than the other tools mentioned at the beginning, because you can directly integrate with the AWS console here as well. And this is a powerful thing that is going to change as well and be more mature going forward. Over here, then in the reports, you will, if you use them, see quality reports. This can be unit test reports, but it can also be integration tests. It can be secure code scanning tools. All of the different formats are supported today. Packages, which was just recently announced, gives you the possibility to, at the moment, store NPM and repositories within CodeCatalyst. This means that you can have a private registry that is shared between all of the projects in a space, or also between only all of the projects, all of the source code repositories within a specific project. This is pretty powerful, and I think that this is going to be a little bit more advanced as well going forward. As I mentioned, it is today limited on NPM. I would expect this one to be covering all of the code artifact functionalities going forward, right? So think of also storing jar files for internal libraries, storing Python packages, and these kind of things in here. Functionality that is only available for the standard, for the enterprise tier, is the possibility to have so-called custom blueprints. This means, as you can see over here, I have one blueprint matched to my project, and you can think of this being the scaffolding tool for you in your projects and in your enterprises, where you can actually define standards. In this example, I've been building from a default blueprint, and there is now a change for the blueprint, which, as I can see over here, I have my current version 0.21, and there is a new version 0.29. And now what I can do is over here, I can go to update blueprint, and this will show me the code changes. This is pretty powerful, essentially, because it will, if you use custom blueprints, give you the possibility also to manage your standards and your defaults across projects as well. Yeah, and then every tool today in 2024 and at the beginning of 2024 needs to have some generative AI functionalities. In order to show you what that actually means, I have some other videos on my YouTube channel. In the way that CodeCatalyst offers that today, it integrates Amazon Q within the system. And this means that you have the possibility to assign issues and stories to a so-called Amazon Q agent that will then implement those features for you. Knowing your source code project, it is able to react on what you actually want in your changes. Also, it can help you to summarize pull requests, summarize comments, and give you some insights into how your applications actually behave. This functionality is not pretty yet, right? It doesn't work as I would expect it, but there is a lot of stuff coming. I would assume where the generative AI functionalities in CodeCatalyst will help you as a developer to be more successful with CodeCatalyst. At least that's what I would hope for. But let's see what the team has for us in 2024. So how can you get started? As I already mentioned, there's today 2 options. So I'm going to quickly sign out to show you that. So you can just access CodeCatalyst.aws/login. Then you have 2 options. Either you can sign in with an IAM Identity Center, or you can sign in with an Amazon Builder ID. The Builder ID is a free tool that you can set up. The IAM Identity Center, I have a video that covers the setup for that. It gives you the possibility to also then log things in through your existing internal identity provider, and you can also then directly match roles and permissions to that to CodeCatalyst and the space itself. And this is what we're going to look at here. So bear with me for a second while I log in. This also gives you the possibility to match this with an MFA factor. So this means that you're very protective of the projects that you do. You can actually secure this environments over here as well. As you can see, now I'm directly logged in. If you look at how this looks like from an AWS identity management perspective, right? So going over to this one, you can see that I use the identity access, and then I get a new button here where CodeCatalyst is just an application that I can log into. Cool. So this is the 2 options how you can get started. Then you can create your own project either by starting with an existing blueprint, because you're going to be not having your own. There's a lot of variety of examples that gives you a head start to not start from 0 with your first project. You can obviously start from scratch, but you can also bring your own code, which is where you can link your GitHub repository. And I think that today you can maybe also already link the Gitlab, which is something that I believe is also going to be required soon. The idea here really is that if you want to use your existing GitHub repositories, you don't need to directly move all of the things that you have. You can just get started with CodeCatalyst and the other functionalities. Let's do a quick recap. So what did we learn today? First of all, CodeCatalyst is an integrated DevTools service that allows you to manage your software lifecycle entirely, right? So you can really get head on from the development pieces, move over to the deployment pieces, the testing pieces, and then also to the production environment with this. It integrates seamlessly with the AWS console. This means that the resources deployed through the workflows will also be visible in CodeCatalyst, so you don't need to jump into the console. But I think you'll need to experience this yourself, right? And if you have any questions and challenges with CodeCatalyst, please reach out to me and let me know what you're missing, so I can also take this away and help you and others to solve the challenges that you have with CodeCatalyst. After watching this video, you are now an expert in Amazon CodeCatalyst. At least you will be the one that has most knowledge in your team and in your organization about Amazon CodeCatalyst. There's a lot of other videos on my YouTube channel that you can have a look on that gives you further insights if you're interested in some of the topics. I'm looking forward to see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments and let me know how I can improve further. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.